Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome back to Monday Night Review. I just want to say Merry Christmas to everyone. I'm filming this on Christmas Day. So yeah, it was going to be a really quick one because I've got a lot of family stuff going on today. But we drew 0-0 with Everton. It was frustrating to say the least. Everton came for the point. You could tell that by the way they defended. They had 5 shots, none on target. We had something like 25 shots and 8 on target. We weren't clinical enough. To have that many shots and not get at least half on target, it's not good enough. And we need to be more clinical. Like we've been saying this for weeks now, since the Atletico game, which I remember. We need to be more clinical, and we didn't take our chances, and that's what cost us. We were missing Morata. He was suspended from the Bournemouth game. He picked up a yellow card for his celebrations, and it was a silly booking. And we missed him because he would have been one of those players who would have thrived in that game. He would have been that threat in the box which we were missing, because with Pedro, Willian and Hazard, that's what we lack. We lack height. We lack someone in the box who's going to win a header. And with the way Everton's set up, having 10 men in the box, then we need someone like that who's going to win a header. And should Conte start Batshuayi? I don't know. I don't know if he would have made a difference, but he's a striker. So if your main striker's not available, your second striker should be starting. So obviously Antonio Conte does not fancy him for some reason. I don't know why, but he just doesn't seem to fancy him. So it looks like in January we're going to be looking for another striker who's either going to play second to Morata or compete with Morata for the first team spot. I would say if it's a second choice striker, maybe someone like Jamie Vardy, because he's been banging in goals, and he would come into Chelsea and be a second striker, and he would be a good suitable fit. So, or if it's a more of a first choice striker who's going to compete with Morata, we can name Aubameyang, Belotti, Dybala. But with Aubameyang and Dybala, they're both going to be cup tied. So will Belotti want to come in and compete with Morata? I don't know. Would any of them want to come in and compete with Morata? I don't know. But we need to go out and get someone like we're bringing on against Everton. Our substitutions were Cesc Fabregas, fine, he can change the game. Batshuayi we brought on, fine, he can change the game. We brought on Sapa Costa for Moses, who is a right wing back to try to change the game. That was our last sub. And I said after the game, if we had someone another striker on the bench, other than Batshuayi and someone else, like, to change the game, it would have been so much better. But I was sitting next to Louis from 100% Chelsea, that we have no one to bring on. We have no one to change the game. We have no one to make a plan B. And that's not Antonio Conte's fault. I saw, me and Louis were speaking on the train back, and he told me on Twitter, and I saw on one of my comments today on my Instagram, if you haven't followed me, it's George James 95, so make sure you go follow me on Instagram. That was my main social, so yeah, go follow me on that. But someone commented saying that, and one of my comments in my matchday vlog saying Antonio Conte out. Oh, seriously, if you want him gone, go find another club. Honestly, he's got the highest win percentage in the Premier League of all our managers. Like, how can you want this man to go? He's a perfect suit for us. He's passionate on the touchline. We're the perfect suit for him. He bleeds on the touchline. He bleeds blue. Like, his passion is, he's like a 12th man. Like, if he could have come on Saturday, he would have done to get the win. That's how passionate he is. So if you want him gone, go find another club. Honestly, go find another club. But yeah, let's get on to my player ratings. Thibaut Courtois didn't have much to do. Again, Everton had no shots on target, so he kept clean sheet. Pretty easy. He could have got a newspaper out, really. But yeah, I'll probably give him an 8. His distribution was good, and he didn't have much to do, so probably an 8 is fair enough. So on to the back line. Again, they didn't have much to do. I think we were pretty strong. We had Rudiger, Christensen and Azpilicueta. I think they were all quality. But at corners, we need to be aiming for those Rudiger and Christensen mainly, because they're big boys. They're tall. They can win a header. And Freddie, you're in the background. You're a dick. That was my brother, by the way. So he's a bit of an arsehole. But yeah, we need to be aiming for them at corners. None of this short corner. Like, a couple of times you could take a short corner, but mainly try aim for them when we go to set pieces. But I think they were solid. They won their headers and got us back on the attack quick. I think Aspilicueta gets an 8 from me, Christensen gets an 8 from me, and Rudiger gets an 8 from me. I think all three of them get an 8. So they didn't have much to do, but when the ball was hoofed out to them, they controlled it well, they won their headers, and they won their tackles well. So they'll get an 8 from me. On to the wing-backs, Marcus Alonso and Victor Moses. I both think they had great games. They put in a load of crosses, and I think when Victor Moses has the ball on the right wing, Alonso's got to be getting at that back post a lot more. He was at the edge of the box in case the cross was overhit. But if you get at the back post, the ball's going to hopefully fall to you. So I want to see him attacking the back post a bit more. I know it's a lot of hard work, but when that team's sitting back so deep, you don't need to do a lot of defensive work. So he should have been attacking that back post a lot more than what he was. And the same for Victor Moses. If it's on the left-hand side, he needs to be attacking the back post a lot more. And if it comes all the way across, you got to tap in. So I think they both perform well. I think Victor Moses was the better out of the two. So I'm probably going to Victor Moses at 8, Alonso a 7, just mainly because he's a bigger person. So I thought if he attacked the back post, he maybe would have won a header and got a goal or whatever. But he needs to be attacking that back post a lot more, making himself another threat for defenders to think about. On to the midfield, we have Bakayoko and Kante. I think they both perform well. I think people are too harsh on Bakayoko. He only gave the ball away twice. So he had a decent game. He was a bit more of a powerhouse. I think Kante and Bakayoko are getting that partnership now, and you're starting to see that more and more. So hopefully as the season goes on, people will start to not put so much pressure on Bakayoko, because he performed well against Everton. It's unfortunate. He needs to maybe start shooting a bit more from distance like Michael Essien did, and just try and have a shot and just get on target and see what happens, because we need someone from our midfield. We're missing that. We're missing someone from our midfield taking a shot from distance and just testing the keeper, because most of our shots came around from the edge of the box, but not from distance. So maybe Bakayoko needs to start doing that a bit more for me anyway. But I think he had a good game, and Godo had a good game as well. They didn't have to do much defensive work, but the stuff that they did have to do, they done well. And so they're probably both going to get an 8 from me. I don't think they should get more than that. I don't think they should get any less than that. So probably an 8 is fair. On to the front line now. We had Pedro, Willian and Hazard as our false 9. I said I was disappointed by Hazard in my fan cam of 100% Chelsea. And I think that's fair enough, because he was coming so deep. I know he was being marked by 2 players pretty much the whole game, and he had to come deep to get the ball, but not every time. If he's playing that false 9 position, he has to stay in around the box. He needs to be selfish. He needs to stay around the edge of the box, because the ball's going to fall to him. Let other players do that work in the midfield. If you stay in that final third, that's where you're going to be a threat to Everton and teams going forward if you're going to play that false 9. So he needs to be a bit more selfish when he plays that false 9, but that's only when he plays the false 9. So yeah, I was a bit disappointed by Hazard, but the stuff that he did do when he got into the attacking third was absolutely fantastic. He almost broke Michael Keane's ankles. He was going past players with ease, but again, he needs to be more selfish. Take a couple of shots, like take them yourself, and instead of making that pass, have a shot. Be selfish. So yeah, Eden probably gets a 7 from me. I think Pedro and Willian both had great games. Along with Eden, don't get me wrong, Eden had a great game, but he needs to be more selfish. But anyway, Willian and Pedro, I both think they had great games. Willian was taking on players left, right and centre, and so was Pedro. I love Pedro's intensity, and I think Willian was probably the best out of the 2. So I'm probably going to give Willian a 9, and I'm going to give Pedro a 8 and Hazard a 7. So yeah, that's my match ratings. If you agree, let me know down in the comments below. If you don't, let me know your player ratings. And let me know what your thoughts on everything else discussed today. Whether we need to go in the summer and get either of those 3 strikers of Aubameyang, Belotti or Dybala. Whether you agree with Conte out, Conte in. If you're Conte out, please go find another club, because that is absolutely a joke. But let me know what you're thinking on that. Let me know your player ratings. So yeah, that's been Monday Night Review. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, leave a like, leave some comments and all that what I've discussed before. But yeah, I will see you for my preview for the Brighton game coming up in about an hour's time. So take it easy. And last but not least, come on you Blues!